The wood insect that gathers sticks should be ready, everly ready to carry them on its head. Yes, should be forever ready to carry them on its head. Yes, you know that proverb, right? The wood insect that gathers sticks should be forever ready, or should be ready to carry them on its head. My name is Angelo. This is Nation Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. How have we been? Of course, this is the new year, and I'm guessing that we all have been doing perfectly all right. Why did I start my podcast, or why did I start my updates with that adage? Aliko Dangote has gathered sticks, and now it is his responsibility to carry them on his head. Yes, did you know that Aliko Dangote has lost his spot as the richest man in Africa? We are not laughing at his misfortune. No. Don't misunderstand me. We are not laughing at his misfortune, alright? But we are laughing at what the process that brought about his misfortune. You can't see danger and then merge or delve your leg or your hands or body into it. Alright? He is no longer the richest man in Africa according to Forbes billionaires list. All thanks to the Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration, and all thanks to the APC, which he has benefited from. Okay, you don't know he is an undercover APC agent, right? Well, you know now, all right? Aliko Dangote has countless times supported and paid loyalty to the All Progressive Congress. And right now, of course, under their regime or under the same APC administration, did Aliko Dangote install, establish, and open his refinery, as well as other business entitlements that have come up from the Muhammadu Buhari administration down to the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. All right. Now, sadly, it is not a surprise to see that in this same administration, just within one calendar year, he has fallen from the richest man in Africa. He is now the second richest man in Africa. That is, he is now occupying the number 2 spot. He is occupying that number 2 spot behind one Mr. Johan Rupert from South Africa. This same Johan Rupert lost money within the same calendar year, but after losing money, he has finally occupied the number 1 spot, and Dangote has occupied the number 2 spot. Not Dangote alone. Mike Adenuga, the Chief Executive Officer and the owner of Globacom Nigeria, has also fallen off the pecking order. In another news, or in another development, Alhaji Abdul Samad Rabiu, the CEO and owner of BUA Group, has also fallen down the pecking order. It is not funny at all, but it is funny. This same Dangote, Abdul Samad Rabiu and all that were very instrumental to the emergence of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But I will share a brief documentary with you so you will understand why they fell off the pecking order. Of course, the Naira devaluation. The Naira devaluation was the first reason. But other reasons are very, very interesting to hear and to watch. So, pick a seat and listen or watch. Now, if I don't tell you what is happening, you will not understand. This documentary will go so deep to explain to you how Dangote fell off the pecking order of the richest man in Africa, and how Abdul Samad Rabiu and Mike Adenuga fell off the same pecking order, how the APC and its lack of sustainable plans to hold the economy of Nigeria played a role in the failure of Aliko Dangote and his colleagues to meet up to the richest man of the billionaires list in Africa. Just Africa, not the world. Alright? It may seem funny to all of us and to them. Maybe occupying the number one spot is not paramount to them. But I will tell you what, if a Nigerian occupies the number one spot of the richest man in Africa, there are loads and loads and loads of respect that is being accorded not just to the person, but to his country, to the economy of his country, to the leadership of his country, to the political system of his country, and to the business acumen of his country. That is why the fall of Dangote is my business. That is why the fall of Abdul Samad Rabiu off the pecking order is my business. That is why the fall of Mike Adenuga is my business. This business is collectively owned by these different people. Does not only serve them, neither does it only serve Nigerians, but it contributes immensely to our economy and the development of whatever we have to do, especially when it comes to budgeting and foreign finances. Alright, in this documentary, I'm going to let you know how, why, and what made Dangote fall off. The APC government and Bola Ahmed Tinubu in conjunction did it. Did you know that Aliko Dangote is no longer the richest man in Africa? In 2023, just in one calendar year, Aliko Dangote lost allegedly $4 billion thanks to the bad economy policy of the beloved APC he has always worked for and the naira devaluation and bad governance. The wealth of Aliko Dangote dwindled from $13.5 billion to $9.5 billion. Thus, he is no longer the richest man in Africa. One Johan Rupert, a South African business mogul, has clinched the coveted spot of Africa's wealthiest person, displacing Aliko Dangote, Nigeria's business tycoon. This was disclosed by Forbes Real-Time Billionaires, a ranking platform which tracks daily changes to the net worth of the most high net worth individuals across the globe. According to the real-time data, Aliko Dangote, the founder of the Dangote Group conglomerate, moved down to second position after his wealth decreased from $13.5 billion in 2023 to $9.7 billion as of January 4th, 2024, indicating a $3.8 billion loss. Similarly, Rupert's net worth decreased from $10.7 billion in 2023 to $10 billion in the same period in 2024. Rupert, a 73-year-old, is the chairman of Compagnie Financière Richemont, a Swiss luxury goods firm best known for the brands Cartier and Montblanc. Mike Adenuga and Abdul Samad Rabiu have also lost their positions. Meanwhile, Abdul Samad Rabiu, the chairman of BUA Group, and Mike Adenuga, the chairperson of Globacom, also lost their positions on the billionaire list. According to Forbes ranking, Adenuga's wealth decreased from $6.3 billion in 2023 to $3.1 billion on Thursday, while Abdul Samad Rabiu's wealth moved from $7.6 billion to $5.7 billion. Consequently, Mike Adenuga moved to the 10th position from the 6th position he held previously, while Abdul Samad Rabiu moved from the 4th position to the 6th position. The fall of Aliko Dangote from Forbes' list and the ranking could be attributed to the devaluation of the naira, as net worths were calculated using stock prices and currency exchange rates from the close of business on Friday, January 13th, 2023. All right, you now have a grip on why Dangote fell off the pecking order, right? Mike Adenuga, Globacom, Abdul Samad Rabiu, BUA Group. These were actually serving as the three eyes of Nigeria in the African economy, the three eyes of Nigeria in the world. Of course, the three eyes of Nigeria in economic development. But For us to hear that they have fallen off, that means Nigeria will soon, if not already down, will soon fall off that stage or that particular point, that particular space we all are managing. Now, I'll briefly take a look at the effects and consequences of this so you'll understand. Now, if Dangote and other colleagues have fallen off the pecking order, that means it's going to cause lots of issues. How? There will be low diffusion of foreign ideas. Foreign investors will no longer come to Nigeria with that confidence they used to have. Dangote just got a refinery last year, and that refinery is not yet functional. We've not had anything happening in that refinery, and it's almost close to 6 months or 7 months since it was established, or since it was officially opened. All right. Now, if Dangote has fallen off, that means he himself can no longer hold his financial platform, all right, or his financial baseline. Not because he has become poor, but because whatever made him fall off that pecking order is the same thing that is making Nigeria suffer at this time. The naira devaluation, the bad economic policy by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Of course, let's not get it wrong. The devaluation of the naira can actually go far to help we all in the country, to enhance easy export and to cut down import. That's true. But we are not getting the results that we are supposed to get from the naira devaluation policy. That means something is wrong somewhere. That means there are lots of lines that are not meeting up. There are lots of people who are not doing their jobs. There are people who are lying to us instead. All right. So that is that. There will not be foreign investors or foreign investments over time. No wonder no state in Nigeria, over 27 states are yet to bring in any sort of foreign development investments, all right, into the country. Not just because they don't have the platform, but because they have the platform, but the present government and its policies fail to implement the necessary business or economic know-how to implement and to bring out the best results to skyrocket our economy. We will continue to talk about this until the best is realized in Nigeria. Second on my list of updates, I have a video that has gone viral online. This video has someone very, very dogged, someone very, very, let me say, information filled, somebody who is known to, say things the way they are, a realist, I would call him. He was seen explaining the real issues in Nigeria. When you ask the common man on the streets, what are the real issues of Nigeria, he may tell you corruption and all of that. Let's not run away from the fact that our issues have begun with our leaders, and they would always begin with our leaders, all right? Now, it's not just bad governance. Bad governance comes from somebody sitting on that seat, right? Now, it boils down to bad leadership. Bad leadership boils down to bad leaders. We have really made a mistake bringing on board Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because in 7 months, he has showed us little or nothing. Nigeria has become a country where honesty does not pay anymore. Why? Bola Tinubu has given a platform for ex-criminals, ex-convicts, and dishonest people to occupy the offices, public offices meant to serve the people, without any sort of condition or unconditionally, all right? Now, Nigeria has become a country where integrity does not even take you anywhere. So if you're a man of integrity now in Nigeria, forget it. Put your integrity in your pocket, because that is what the government and whoever is at the helm of affairs is showing us by their dealings, all right? Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration has become a platform for criminality, commercialization of theft and criminality, deceit, corruption, and at most political malfeasance. Yes, political malfeasance to a high degree. Please stay tuned for this video clip, and please, I would urge you, give this video your attention and make it go viral, because whatever is being said on this interview, you will understand how much more in trouble we have been in the space of 8 months of Bola Tinubu's reign. Please stay tuned.
Call leadership by example. People are the way they are today because those in government, those that are leaders, have set a bad example on how not to be good citizens. Nigeria is one country where honesty does not pay, where integrity does not take you far, where the more you are hawkish, the more you are adept at state capture, the more political mileage you get. Such is the kind of system we operate today, where people are rewarded, where corrupt people are rewarded with some of the highest offices in the land. So that is the kind of system we operate. So why should anybody now sit and die in penury trying to be a good citizen? Any country, go and study the history of most developed countries today. It was leadership by example. Singapore had Lee Kuan Yew. Saudi Arabia had Ibn Saud. The United States of America, beginning with George Washington, had a succession of leaders that kept praising the bar of leadership up until this point in time. And so it is the story across the world. Leadership must take the lead to be able to reward good behavior and punish and sanction bad behavior. But when you reward bad behavior as a system and you actually punish or ostracize good behavior, people will simply adapt to what will make them survive the situation. That is what you have in Nigeria. So it still boils down to leadership. It's a leadership problem, essentially, because God has placed leadership in such a vantage position that it can influence good and it can discourage bad. But when leadership now influences bad behavior and rewards it, so how are you going to now explain people that have chosen to remain good and die in penury? That's the situation in Nigeria, and it is sad. But what I'm saying is no longer sustainable. Nigeria is inching towards a failed state that might eventually collapse because of this current system. And there comes a time in the life of every nation when leaders sit down and say, okay, we've had enough. We've had our fill from the common till.
But
can we now begin to do the right things?
I'm sorry, I must interrupt you. This is a critical question. The political class, are they willing to do what you've just described?
Well,
because it sounds like you're asking them to commit class suicide.
It is their interest. It is in the interest of their own self-preservation to do that now, because Nigeria can no longer sustain their profligacy. Otherwise, if they continue on this path, they will become victims of the seeds of destruction they are sowing through bad leadership. We're getting to that point. So as analysts, we're like ancient prophets that are warning kings to say, look, doom and destruction is coming because of your iniquity. So the iniquity of our leaders today is going to bring destruction upon us that will consume them first, probably. I don't know why they are not saying it, because they're actually behaving like drunken sailors aboard a sinking ship. So they do not understand that the ship is sinking. The ship is sinking. And the question is this: for how long will those on board watch their drunken sailors allow their ships to sink without taking
control of the ship themselves?
All right. Yes, that is the point we've found ourselves now. That is the point we've seen ourselves now in Nigeria. All right. You notice that everybody in Nigeria, every youth is trying to run out of the country. The Japa syndrome has become the talk of the day. Everybody wants to leave the country because the country is no longer safe for anybody. Not just economically safe, not just business safety, or let me say, not just business safety, not just political safety, but even insecurity has become our morning food, our afternoon food, and our night food. Lots of our brothers living in the north are experiencing a high level of insecurity. The death toll in Nigeria is rising by the day. Lots of people in the southeast are experiencing a very high death toll because of irreconcilable differences, because of lack of understanding between the government and the masses. They have given a way, or they have paved the way for non-political actors to come into the space, or to come into the political space, and cause a wide range of pandemonium to the people. Of course, the political class would not be affected by this, because invariably they are being secured 24 hours, 7 days, right? Kudos to that man in that video for making us, for bringing to our minds and to our doorsteps the real issues that we suffer in Nigeria. I was talking about insecurity. Due to the recurrent issues of insecurity in the country, especially far away the northeast, the north central, and the Southeast and the South-South, all right? According to Mike Ejiofor, Mike Ejiofor is the president, Alumni Association of the National Institute of Security Studies. Mike Ejiofor is of the opinion that it's high time Nigerians bear arms, or it's high time Nigerians are allowed to bear arms, not just for the bearing of arms sake, but to protect themselves, because the country and the federal government and the government which we elected with our own franchise have failed to protect us, all right? The death toll in Nigeria is on the rise by the day, and security needs to be the priority. In fact, we should drop unemployment, we should drop economy, we should drop any other thing and prioritize security. Please watch this video and listen to Mr. Mike Ejiofor make his points in a very bitter way. Stay tuned.
I think I completely agree with the senior advocate. It's time Nigerians bear arms. Because I recall, I think it's about 2016, 2017, there was a seminar organized by the Office of the National Security Advisor. And I did mention in that conference that there is need to liberalize the carrying of arms by Nigerians. And I was roundly condemned. I still maintain that position. Because the only difference between these people carrying arms and ordinary citizens going about their lawful deeds is because they are carrying arms. If they don't carry arms, I don't think they'll be in position to do what they are doing. The argument that if you allow Nigerians to carry arms, it will be abused. I agree.
Isn't there a tendency for that to
There's
happen?
tendency for abuse, but we should not also, the primary purpose of government, like you said in the intro, is welfare and security of the people as provided for enshrined in our constitution. But where daily, especially in a Benue, in Plateau, hundreds of people are killed, no account is given, I don't think it's proper. That brings me to the, as I was invited this evening, I was going through some of the papers. It will shock you that a Swiss-based non-profit organization in its research in 2020, I'm talking of 2021, 2024 now, disclosed that we have 6.1 million illegal arms with civilians in Nigeria. In Nigeria alone.
Not necessarily in the hands of criminals and bandits,
in the hands of civilians.
But civilians
in Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
6.1 million.
Added to that, the report that about 70% of illegal arms actually in Nigeria, that's in the West Africa.
So it goes further again to tell you that out of every 100 Nigerians, 3 are armed. So where are the people? That is very dangerous.
It is.
It is very, very dangerous. So why don't we liberalize this issue of carrying of firearms, so that if you are coming to my house, you know I'm also armed. But these people act with impunity, they act with all kinds of them because they know people are not armed. I don't believe that it's going to bring any anarchy. You look, in fact, the provision of firearms, like the licensed guns we talk about hunting, it's not for defense. So even if you use it for defense, you really use illegal.
Yes, welcome back. That was Mike Ejiofor there. He is a security expert, so whatever he says is actually from the lips of someone who knows where the shoe pinches most, all right? Nigerians cannot get used to insecurity. Nigerians cannot get used to suffering. Nigerians cannot get used to penury, all right? We cannot always understand with the federal government without having a recurrent understanding effect from the federal government, all right? To that effect, I will support to a high degree whatever Mr. Mike Ejiofor has said. I think this is high time Nigerians are allowed to wield arms to protect themselves, because we can't have the death toll rising all day. There is no crisis, no war, no global misunderstanding, but the death toll in Nigeria is on the rise. I will still quote late General Sani Abacha in this regard. He said, while he was head of state, if insurgency lasts for more than 1 day, then just then, you will know that the federal government or the government has a hand in it. We are not saying anything, but let us use our heads, our brains and our minds to see to it that we secure our lives and property and that of our friends, relations, and family members. See you next time. I would love to urge you, please, before I go, like our videos, share them. Don't forget to drop a comment for us in the comment section. I'm not seeing those comments. This is 2024, and I would urge you that we will serve you better this time around for you to have the best of our podcast. Don't forget to always watch till the end, because when you watch till the end, you have that particular privilege to listen and watch the information I have mostly at the end of my videos. See you next time. Bye.